Welcome back, and we are definitely moving boundaries this afternoon here on the Nafisa Dango Show. We're, of course, inspiring you to give back, start eating better, and, of course, reflecting on what we're doing and what sort of purposes we can, should we say, give back to. We all have a purpose in our life, and it's about what we can give back to others in order to make ourselves feel better. And this afternoon, this is the most important documentary I think I've watched thus far, which has a lot of essence to it. I sat down and watched it, and with me in studio, I'd like to welcome Zakia Sheikh and Alia Lahe.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining me, my wonderful teammates, and of course, the guys here in the studio always making differences, and I think we always stand together to be able to create those differences. Ladies, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I think we have a very, very, very interesting topic. And we're going to let Zakia start off with it. Talk us through minimalism.
Okay, so I watched it last night. Super interesting. I think the message in it is very strong. It's basically about these two guys who live by the concept of less is more in every aspect of their life. So it's minimizing everything, all the stuff that you have cramped up, just letting go of it. And I just want to, start off by saying that letting go is such an important concept, and learning to minimize, because this guy, he mentioned, I'm sure you guys saw that he had the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect house. He had everything, but he still wasn't happy. Something was still missing despite everything he had. And I think that was interesting to think that, we can have everything and still be miserable or unhappy.
Yeah, and I think what stood out for me there, and Alia, I think you'll also agree with me, was the fact that he said, although he had everything, there was still this void in his life. He had a void, and his void was the fact that he wasn't happy. He was totally unhappy. He had everything he could ever think of or want, but that void was there. And I think this got all of us thinking. And I'll agree. Alia, what was your take on this?
Yeah, definitely. So he basically said that he's filling this void with stuff, and I think it's minimal. The concept is very liberating because, it's just, Islam also teaches that less is more in every way possible. So just have what you need to have, and that's it. You don't need excessive stuff, or, experiences are more important than anything.
So true.
And you're so right with the fact that where you say Islam teaches us that. I mean, that's one of the sunnah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so simplistic in his manner, and he loved such a rich life. And I think that's what needs to make us reflect. I think this is what this docu does.
Yes.
It makes us reflect, to ask ourselves, what is it that we want and where do we want to head to? Because you can have literally, and I think it's a media advertising thing. That's what they called it in the docu. It's a more, you inculcate it through advertising to say that you need to have this. But I think we ourselves abuse it because it's an advertising. People need to advertise what they sell. So we need to be able to use our discretion to realize what it is that we need and what we can do without. Do you agree with me?
Yes, 100%. Like you said, it's very much to do with how social media plays a part in it and how advertising plays a part in it. They're creating this mindset that we never have enough. Like they mentioned in the documentary, that we are so manipulated as to how our life should look like, what we should have. We need to have that certain thing because it's going to fill this void. We need to have this clothing piece from H&M or something because it's gonna make us feel prettier. So we are so manipulated, and you're right in saying that we definitely need to filter that and look at ways of downscaling, not upscaling.
And we would say we can't blame the advertisers or the companies as such. It's up to us as individuals, Alia, to be able to say, sit down and ask yourself, okay, today I need this, but is it a normal requirement or a necessity, or am I going overboard and just buying it because I need to fill my void?
Yes, definitely. And they even mentioned that fashion is always changing. So before you would have 4 seasons and you dress according to the seasons, but now because of fashion you have more than 50 seasons in a year, and you always trying to fit in and be what do you call the word?
Yeah, be what society is telling us to be.
Yes,
I think
yes.
it's about keeping in trend. That's what the
Yeah.
way they make it
That's-
sound.
yeah.
Like if you're not, if you're wearing a certain item of clothing, you're not
That was
up to date
so
with the
2 weeks
trend.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And it was so nice when they spoke about the days and ages of our grandparents, like our moms and our grandmothers.
Mm.
There were only 2 seasons. Literally, you'd wear warm stuff in winter and cool stuff in summer, and that was the end of
Mm.
that. And I think that was a great piece because it makes you think about what you have,
Mm-hmm.
and to start decluttering your life. And I mean, speaking to someone that was an expert in it a while ago, somebody that I met said to me, if you declutter what you own, you're literally decluttering yourself, your mind, your body.
Exactly.
And I think this is what a lot of the people in the docu were speaking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the methods that they even spoke about was 33. What was it? 333. So you have 33 outfits, and
Yes.
that's what you use. Only that, including your jewelry pieces and your shoes and everything. And you just mix and match with that. So you don't need more than that.
Exactly. That's basically all you need.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, another thing that was really interesting for me is that they said that you need to look at everything you have and ask yourself, does this item add value to my life? And if it doesn't, get rid of it.
Yes.
Because, like you said, like Nafisa also said, it's taking up space in your life, in your mind, and you don't need it. Like, we live in such a 2-minute society, as
Yes.
we mentioned last week. We need all the space we can get, in terms of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found it interesting because there was this lady that literally moved into it looked like a little wooden home
Yes.
that she had placed somewhere, and she was so content in it. And I thought to myself, oh my god, but this place is so tiny.
Yeah.
But she was so happy because she had so little to worry about.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were even speaking about space. I mean, you don't need more space than necessary. I mean, I know in my home we have 2 lounges. I don't know for what reason, but we do. And space is also such a waste. A very important topic that was brought up was the environment in the documentary. We our overuse is also damaging the environment. So, by making use of already existing spaces and using that to the maximum,
Exactly.
that would really help in every way possible. We don't need more.
That is very true.
We don't need more, but I think it's a catch-22 because as we sit here, we all like thinking of that next thing we're gonna buy. So yeah, it comes down to finding that solution of how do we go about decluttering. I think it's not an overnight process, if you saw.
No, of course not. I mean, it's not easy. I think it's been inculcated with us since we were young through advertising and of course the lifestyle that we live. So it's about asking ourselves, where do I think, as you were saying, starting off with a little at a time. Ask yourself, go into your wardrobe, ask yourself, do I need this? Is it working for me? Does it even fit me?
Exactly.
And then start slowly getting rid of these things, and you start. It was amazing how this gentleman explained how much lighter he felt after getting rid of those things. So I think it's something people really need to watch because it really gets you thinking about the lifestyles we lead now. Especially, they were talking about this rat race that we live.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think we're very caught up, and sometimes we lose sight of the bigger picture. And it's maybe it's a pessimistic way of looking at things, but I feel like it's a good reminder. We need to constantly remind ourselves that, you know what, I need to start decluttering. I need to start thinking long term about, like you said, being environmentally friendly. Like, we need to think of how we're going to be sustainable and sustain ourselves in the long run.
Yeah, and I look at the optimistic side of it to say it's teaching us not to chase so much.
100%.
To just be content with what we have right now, and make the best of who we have, not what we have.
Yeah.
It's the relationships in our family. It's the people that we have that make the differences in our lives. It's about who's there to be able to support us when we're going through a difficult time. Those are the things that matter. Yes, these things make our lives easier. It makes us look good. It makes us feel good to some extent, but it does not, as the gentleman was saying, fill the void.
Yes.
And I think void, what he meant was literally the essence of life.
Exactly. Yes. I think that's that's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's an important lesson.
I think it's important to also realize that we do have the privilege of, this is a stance of privilege by choosing to have less, because we have so much, and by choosing to have less, we, decluttering um makes us feel lighter, and it has all these benefits, but we have to think of the less fortunate as well in these
That's-
situations.
You couldn't have said
Yes,
that better.
such a nice
Yeah.
angle.
I love your angle because 2 weeks ago we did Homeless Day, and when I went there, it got me thinking in so many directions. And I love doing this. I love going out and doing this NPO work when I can, when I have the time. And it really made me think, because I went out there and these people literally had nothing, just this room to stay in. But the smiles on their faces and the love and that they had to offer and to give was unbelievable. And their stories were so phenomenal. And when you go home after that, it actually makes you think. And I think this docu also is shedding a light on a lot of the matter to say, look at where you are and ask yourself where you want to be.
Yeah.
Definitely. I loved the angle, Alia. I think
Thank you.
that's such an important lesson, and it's such a good reminder. I think we can all take heed of that. And yeah, I would definitely recommend the docu. Watch it on Netflix. It's out there. Really cool, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying take some time out. It's 1.5 hours long. But if I can, so can you guys. And have a look at it. It's very interesting. I think it'll give you lots of food for thought.
Definitely.
Last few words before we go.
Just let go of what's weighing you down, and yeah, that's it. That's my line.
Alia?
Yeah, I think so too. And it's important to realize that, this is what our religion teaches us. So this was just like a reminder of that. So yeah, I think it was a very good reminder.
Yeah, you
Put
couldn't have
very
said
well.
that better. So go back, reflect, reconnect, and of course, find the man above to help you find your way, because that's what it gets you thinking about, the minimalistic way. So go out there and watch Minimalism on Netflix. We're going to go for a quick break. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. I think it was a very important, very full of essence discussion that we had, and we hope people go out and watch it there. So we'll be back with you in a bit.
Of experience, IG Hussein and Company are renowned for their quality Islamic wear and goods. IG Hussein and Company stock a variety of Islamic items, musallas, kitabs, Medina dates, perfumes and exclusive gifts. We guarantee you a unique and friendly shopping experience for the entire family. Visit our new branch in Overport at 202 Kenilworth Park, Brickfield Road. Open 7 days a week with ample parking and wheelchair friendly. Like us on Facebook or Instagram at IG Hussein for our latest promotions and updates. IG Hussein and Company.